This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
It's Friday, March the 27th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Good morning. We begin with news that local taxpayers owe government over $400 million in outstanding value-added tax VAT payments. The figure has emerged from a recent special audit of the management of the accounts receivable in the VAT division conducted by the Auditor General's office. The Auditor General has expressed strong concern over the level of indebtedness to the VAT division, which falls under the new Barbados Revenue Authority. Of further worry to Auditor General Lee Trotman is the fact that the figure for outstanding accounts receivable has been increasing at an average rate of 13% or $48 million per year. A class action suit is expected to be filed in the High Court today against Acting Commissioner of Police Tyrone Griffith. The action is being brought by a number of sports-related shooting clubs on the island, including the Barbados Rifle and Pistol Federation, Inc., the Barbados Shooting Council, and the Barbados Rifle and Pistol Association. They're going to court to seek a judicial review of the Acting Commissioner's decision to impose restrictions and conditions on the firearms licenses of persons involved in the sport of shooting. The many individual members and clubs are also providing additional firepower for two other members who have already filed and whose cases are down to be heard next Tuesday before Madam Justice Jacqueline Cornelius. The grounds of the actions are generally similar, as in the cases of Garth Patterson, who is seeking a judicial review of the police chief's decision, and Bernard Chase, who wants an injunction. The litigants all claim that Griffith overreached his powers by taking it upon himself to impose conditions and restrictions when Section 5 of the Firearms Act 179 did not give him such powers. Residents of Rockley New Road are complaining that they are still not getting due consideration from those working on a pipeline project in their area and are calling for an alternative route in and out of their community. At a meeting earlier this month, General Manager of the Barbados Water Authority, Dr. John Mwanza, had promised improved communication with the residents so that distrust can be removed. He also said back then that while it was difficult to eliminate all inconvenience, the authorities were working to find a solution that would minimize disruption and provide access for emergency vehicles as well as for residents with special needs. However, in an email communication this week, the residents said they had not received any assurances that they will have unfettered 24-hour access to all parts of Rockley New Road during the entire period of the project. The project, which should see the installation of 3 water mains, is to be completed by June. In sports now, spectators at yesterday's semi-finals of the Barbados Secondary Schools Athletic Championships, or BSAC, have made a suggestion to the meet's organizers: follow the blueprint of the National Primary Schools Athletic Championships, or NAPSAC. However, a senior BSAC official has quickly shot down the suggestion that the meet should provide more entertainment for spectators and students. Citing a major difference in atmosphere and excitement between the two events, those who flocked to the National Stadium have called for a revamp of the secondary schools meet. But the chairman of BSAC, Vasco Dash, was adamant that no such changes would be made to the meet.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings.
Welcome back with news from the region that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Kamla Pissard-Bissessar, is this morning sending a warning to trade unions in that country. She is cautioning them that she wouldn't stand idly by and watch them bankrupt the country if they don't get what they were demanding. We pick up the story in this CNC3 report.
2 days after thousands of motorists were caught in standstill traffic due to several roadblocks across the country, Prime Minister Kamla Pissard-Bissessar is sending a clear message to trade unions.
I have no intention of giving in to demands that could lead to or possibly take us into bankruptcy.
In more regional news now, St. Lucia's Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Kenny Anthony, says the country's economy is beginning to point upwards. The Prime Minister has started his round of meetings with public and private sector representatives ahead of the 2015-2016 budget. He says there is good news, particularly in the tourism and manufacturing sectors.
2015 could possibly be the last year of decline in economic growth. Dr. Kenny Anthony says there are positive signals. The economic green shoots, which sprouted in 2014, keep growing, particularly in the tourism industry.
Unprecedented growth. I think that is very, very good, and we have seen an increase in not unemployment, rather an increase in employment in the tourism sector over the season. That is very, very positive. Manufacturing is holding steady, but of course construction is a problem, but you must have heard of a number of new initiatives that are on the way.
The Minister for Finance is encouraged by renewed activity in construction. This is being driven by the public service and supported by the private sector.
Construction of the highway from Shock to Grosley, that's going to entail expenditure of about $150 million in addition to all of this.
On the international scene, relatives of those who died in the Germanwings plane crash, including the parents of the co-pilot, have arrived in the southern French Alps. Andres Lubitz's family and that of the plane's captain have been kept separate from the others. They have all come to see the crash site for themselves. The BBC's Clive Myrie reports.
It's a mournful procession. This, one family, united in grief. A consoling arm helps a little, but 2 days ago, these people had other concerns. Now, far from home in a little French town, some of the families of those who died in the plane crash are having to come to terms with the shock of loss. We spoke to the man who was first to see the wreckage. He took pictures on his phone. He showed on a map where he was winched into the ravine just half an hour after the plane came down. It was he who recovered the black box flight recorder that today yielded so many secrets.
I've seen so many horrible scenes and accidents in the mountains, but never anything like this.
And that's our Barbados Today morning news update. But you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune into Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and the sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.